Let's see, are we really live or are we not really live? We will find out, won't we? We will find out right now because usually my laptop says, no, we're not live. But we will find out whether we are really live. Now, let's find out. Oh, we actually are live. What do you know?
Oh, we actually are live.
It said I am live.
Oh, we actually are.
Alex, how are you? Mitchell, how are you? What's happening, guys, on this Wednesday night? And I brought out the Les Paul. I brought a Les Paul out. I didn't bring out the I don't have any customs anymore. This is the only custom I have anymore. I have the 56 custom that the front pickup has been changed, but it's still a 56 custom. And I brought this one out because one of my heroes died, which many of you people are probably the same way as I am, as Ace Frehley died on Friday. And it's taking that was a hard one. You know, everybody talked about how Ozzy was, but Ace was way more to me. I mean, that is a beautiful guitar and wonderful tribute. Thank you very much. The Kemper died again. I don't know what it is with this Kemper. It just does not want to work anymore. The Kempers that I usually plug in. So I'm back into this. Eric, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Jimmy, what's up? Yeah, the Kemper died again. So now I'm back into the Roland Cube. So, anyways, yeah, we started out with the old Ace Frehley Cold Gin. All right, enough. Enough for you reliving my Ace days. Actually, we played that the other night. Talk about the fun time we had the other night. The Occasional Astronauts were on stage in Tavares on Saturday night. And Terry, Steph, how are you? Rest in peace, Ace. Absolutely. So we played out in Tavares, which is a city or a small town, really. It's out in the middle of the state. And right across the place from where we were playing, they had Rock Fest, and they had a bunch of different bands, 789s, a Pearl Jam tribute, one other band, and the headline was Hinder. Hinder was that band that did that song "Lips of an Angel" was their big hit, and they had another one that wasn't quite as big, but the "Lips of an Angel" was their big hit. And we played we were actually playing while they were playing our first set. And then after they got done, we were playing, and this guy kept coming up and he kept looking at my rig and checking out stuff that I had going on. And then he's, you know, sat there, and this girl came up and she said, "Hey, would you mind if the guitar player from Hinder sat in with you guys?" I said, "Sure, why not?" So he came up, sat in with us, and all he wanted to do was Kiss. So we played some Kiss with him, and we actually did play. I think we played Summer of '69, and we played something else. There was something else he played with us. But it was cool to play with this guy that was, just played for 10,000 people across the field from us. And then he comes in to play in the club, small club, but there's probably, maybe a couple hundred people in there. I don't know. There's a lot of people in there. It was packed. So it was packed. He came in and wanted to play with us. And he said, I talked to him afterwards. He left their tour bus. We got off stage. I said, "Stick around so I can talk to you after we got done." And I was going to tell him about the channel and all that stuff. And he actually left. I saw the tour bus leaving as we were like still playing. And I said, "Oh, damn." So then I reached out to him on social media and said, "Justin, man, hey, it was a lot of fun playing with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my rig and all this stuff." He said, "Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome." He goes, "I wouldn't have sat in if you guys weren't any good, but you guys are really good." So it has been that was pretty cool. Ace has been in Randy's shop, guys. Yes, he has been. The day, the 2 hours of Ace. Hey man, how you doing? Ace was an awesome guy. He was a lot of fun. We sat. I tell you my Ace story. So everybody knows about the Ace story because Steph knows about the Ace story. Ace came in the shop one day. These guys came in probably 6 months prior to when he came in during, I can't remember, if it's Biketoberfest or Bike Week, one of the two biker events. I think it Biketoberfest. So just like we just had, and the guy goes, "Hey, I'm really good friends with Ace. Would you like me to bring him in sometime?" And I said, "Sure." So 6 months go by. Guy walks in, and it's him and a few other guys. And he's up to the guy, goes, "Hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you again." I was like, "Hey, how good to see you too." And I didn't really recognize him. I just, being cordial as I normally am with people, because I'm terrible about names and faces and stuff like that. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. But he goes, "Well, I brought him in." And I went, "Who?" He goes, "Ace." I go, I'm looking around for Ace. And this guy standing next to him is chunky, has a beard and mustache, and a pair of like glasses, like sunglasses on. He took them off, but he's standing there, and I go, like, I'm looking at him like, "Where?" And he goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" It's like, and then as soon as he spoke, I knew, I knew who he was. It was obvious it was Ace Frehley. So I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And I was like really excited, at first, because I'll get on with that. Excited to see Ace. My all-time hero growing up. Here I was, a 12-year-old boy dancing around in my bedroom in a mirror, pretending I was Ace Frehley, like so many other guitar players growing up. Uh, you know, that were able to go. Whatever. Out of tune drives me nuts. So I shouldn't put nines on these things. But anyway, so Ace hung out. They left him at the shop. And Ace stayed there with me for like 2 hours. He was in the shop just telling jokes, constantly telling jokes, and just rambling on about stuff. And at that point, we were actually pretty busy. There were people in the shop looking at stuff, and it was so funny. This Ace was sitting there, and he was going. He's playing that. And this guy looks down at Ace and goes, "Hey, man, you played really good." He goes, "Thanks, man." Guy had no clue this is Ace Frehley actually sitting in my shop playing Firehouse. And so Ace just kept going on with his jokes and just laugh. He was one of those guys who would tell a joke and laugh about his own joke. Hey, what's happening? Hey, Randy, can you tell me the value of a 1975 Ibanez Flying V medallion with original hard case? Have you ever played one of these? I have played one of those. Great guitar, really nice guitar. Probably the medallion series. I know the Carina series is somewhere around 325 to 3. Everything is kind of coming down now. So I'm going to say that probably one. Oh, I have to ask you a question though first before I give you an answer to it. Is it a bolt-on neck or is it a set neck? That's the big question. I always ask that with people with these Ibanez guitars. Bolt-on. Probably around $1,000 to $15,000. Bolt-on is the killer of the value. This guitar, by the way, is that Nella? Nella, this is a 1956 Gibson Les Paul Custom. So that's why you don't see a lot of these. I mean, and the pickup has been swapped for a Gibson humbucker. No, it has not. No, it's still the P90, but it is a Fralin P90. That pickup, the staple pickup died, so I just replaced it. Alan spelled backwards. That's funny. I like that. So I've told my story about Ace. Yeah, so Ace was in my shop, and I got to hang out with Ace for a couple hours. It was great. It was awesome. No, sorry, I was still talking about my Ibanez Flying V. Oh, the pickup has been. Oh, so you have a Gibson Flying V. Yeah, the Gibson pickup put in there. Well, you can change the electronics out with something like that, and I don't think it's going to matter. The value is still going to be pretty much the way it is. I mean, those did have the what were those rock and roll pickup? I can't remember. Escapes me now, but the rock and roll series pickups. But tonight we've talked about Ace a little bit. Thanks for the info, Randy. No problem at all. I mean, I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty on par for that. I bought I bought an 82 Les Paul Custom and Sunburst 6 years ago for 2,800. Swap second. Stamp second, but only one owner in great shape. Should have sold it when they were going for a ton of money. Yeah, you should have, because now they're back down in that. I mean, it's a second, so now it's in the $2,200 range. You lost a little money. It's an LP custom though. It's probably 2,500. So yeah, the market on guitars is not good right now. It really isn't. Oh wait, I gotta do my ace trick. That black ESP is mean. Yes. Yes, but it's not this cool. It's not this cool. This is cool. This is a cool guitar. But anyway, I was going to talk a couple things. We got Breedlove, by the way. If you're familiar with Breedlove guitars, they have been sold. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but Breedlove actually has been sold. A new company is coming in. You'll see that Breedlove guitars, any leftovers, have really dropped in price. They're going to change the way the necks are put on. I mean, they're changing a lot of things. So if you're looking for a nice acoustic guitar for a little bit of money, the Breedlove guitars, even the Chinese ones, are actually really good guitars. And you can get them for a steal right now. Really can. So just to give you the FYI on those. So my rep actually, I used to be a dealer for Breedlove, and I can still buy some if I want some, but yeah, it is crazy how fragile life is. I always tell people I actually died a few years ago and came back by the grace of God. I guess it wasn't my time, and yeah, life is short. So, but I'm glad, that I know there's something on the other side, because I've seen the other side, and I'm happy to know that Ace is in a good place. I would think he is. At least I hope he is. Hope he went the same place I went. Or, I mean, I think everybody's experience is probably different, but mine was all right. What was your favorite model from Breedlove? Oh, personally, if you want to go Breedlove, really, I personally like the guitars when Ken Breedlove actually made them himself. So this would have been prior to Bedell buying them, because Two Old Hippies, which is Bedell, they bought them in the mid 2000s, I think it was, and or probably early 2000s. They bought them, and then they had them for a while until this new company has now bought them. And the Bedell guitars are great. I think the Ken's guitars, the Ken Breedlove's early on were probably in the same grade as the Bedells were or are. So, and the Bedells actually come down quite a bit too. So if you see a Bedell out and you want a super nice guitar, they are dramatically cheaper than what they were prior to the buyout, which I was kind of shocked that Bedell actually let that go as well, but they did. So I thought Two Old Hippies might keep that, but they didn't. So wish more acoustic guitar manufacturers would do bolt-on necks like Taylor. Makes it, yeah, it does. Makes it, yeah, the neck reset a lot easier. I will tell you this: I'm a dealer for Kepman guitars. So Kepman guitars are a Chinese guitar maker, and they have the acoustic effects in them as like Yamaha does. Um, but they are their own company. They're not like Court, who makes PRS and everybody else. I mean, Ibanez, everybody. Court makes everything for everybody. And Ketma, like Eastman, they make their own guitars in-house. That's all they do is guitars for themselves. So it's just like, buying a guitar from Gibson. They make only Gibson guitars in that factory. That's all they make. So Ketma does the same thing. They just started doing bolt-on necks as well. They also started using torrefied tops, even for their cheaper stuff. I have a guitar that has built-in effects in it, bolt-on neck, torrefied solid top with a bag, a dehumidifier, and I believe there's something else that comes with it too. I can't remember. All for $400. How can that blows me away. And that's with the tariff thing and all that stuff. They absorbed the tariffs. They said we're not going to do the whole tariff thing. We'll absorb them, and it is what it is. So you can you can buy a Ketma cheap, very cheap, and they're great guitars. What else do we have? I'm an Ace guy. That was my go-to for me. Frehley's Comet was my favorite. Yeah, Frehley's Comet was awesome. I enjoyed them. Well, it was Will. God, what was the guy's? I cannot remember the drummer. It's a drummer from David Letterman. Actually, the drummer and the bass player from David Letterman's band were Ace's band. If you didn't know that. I think they were both in a band called Spider. And then the singer that was in Ace Frehley's band was the singer that was in a band called 747. They actually, on the first album, Anton Fig, exactly. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. That's exactly who it was. Husky guitars, rock and roll, and laughs. Todd Hosworth. Yes, exactly. Bingo. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, they put out some great stuff. Jones Reagan. I don't remember that name. For some reason, I don't remember Jones Reagan. What's going on? My wife was actually leaving to get some prescriptions. It's having to get old. Oh, John Reagan. Yes, John Reagan. I was like, I can't see this. Sorry. Yes. Bass. Yes. So, if you're looking for cheap guitar, Ketman guitars are cheap but very good, and their higher end stuff, it's great, really good. I mean, you say, well, what's higher end? I'm talking a couple grand or more for a Chinese guitar, because they are good and they do make great guitars. So, what was on the other list I had? I had 4 things I was going to talk to you guys. We talked about Ace. We talked about the Breedlove sale. The other thing I was going to talk to you about, are you familiar with shrekking and throning? Anybody familiar with these terms? Is it easier to sell used acoustics or used electrics in today's market? Used acoustics, I will say right now. I have sold more used acoustics in the last few months than I have electrics. Depending on the model. I will tell you, a guitar that is a guitar you don't want to buy in any circumstances is an Epiphone. Nobody wants an Epiphone right now. That is the guitar that nobody wants. I don't know what the deal is, but nobody wants them. Steph, you're out of here already. That's right. We need new subscribers, folks. If you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and become part of the community. I do appreciate it very much. It does help me. What about Blue Ridge? Made in China, but sound really good. Blue Ridge are great guitars. Really good guitars. Really good guitars, but they are made by somebody else, I believe. They are not made by them. I believe Cort actually makes those. And what brand of acoustics is hot seller these days? For me, Martins. Martins are the probably the best selling guitar I have. I get used ones in, but they do sell. Martins actually are one of the better ones that sell, and not the cheap ones. We're talking D28s, D16. You know, I had a J40. I mean, the upper models. So much for sub $600 Epi inspired Gibson guitars are really good. Too bad no one's buying Epis right now. Actually, the inspired ones actually are all right. They're all right. It's the ones that have the old headstock that nobody wants. If you got one that doesn't have this headstock on it, you can't give them away. Now the Flying V's, I think the Flying V's and the Explorers and stuff like that, they still will sell because they have, they're still using the Gibson platforms on them. But if you buy a Les Paul, even a 59 reissue that has, because I have one sitting stored, nobody wants it. Terry, that was one of the things we're going to talk about is what's going to happen at the guitar show. The clip wing headstock is terrible. Yes, it is. I believe so too. It is a terrible headstock. But, and like I said, Epiphones are dead in the water. Can't give one away. So I even have a Casino in the shop. Can't get rid of it. And that one has the original headstock, which doesn't pertain really to the whole Gibson thing because Epiphone Casinos were their own thing, but can't even get rid of that either. It looks okay on a Sheridan, but looks too big on a Les Paul. And we're just talking about the Casino. Same thing. Exactly. Casinos are great. They are. I agree. Great guitar. One of the better guitars are made by Cort. Actually, they're not made by Cort. They're made by, the other huge maker that makes guitars for everybody. Oh, God, I can't think tonight. Anyways, so let's talk about. I was going to talk about the throning and the shrekking because I asked that, but nobody knows what it is. It's a dating term, and shrekking is if you find a girl or a guy or whatever, and if you rate yourself at an 8, and maybe you trade down to a 4, but that 4 looks up to you like you're God. That's shrekking. All right. So you're the greatest thing ever. They think you're the greatest thing ever. So, and I'll get to why I talk about this with the guitar. Samick, exactly. Samick was the other one. That's the guitar maker that makes for everybody. But now on the other side is throning. Throning is if you really like the look, maybe you like the looks of somebody. Say you see somebody and they're great looking, right? Or even they aren't even great looking, but they have a huge following. Everybody loves this person. This is like, just say you were to go, say you went out with Trogley, right? Trogley's huge on YouTube, right? Right. So Trogley's huge, and he probably holds a lot of clout with some people. So if a girl was to go out with Trogley, right, only because he has status on YouTube, right? But they don't really think he's any good looking, right? Or maybe they think he's okay looking, but not really their type, right? But they can say, I went out with Trogley. Then it makes their status go up. And now they think there's something big because they went out with this, whoever, it could be anybody. It could be anybody. I'm just saying anybody who holds some clout, right? It could even be an actor, some big actor. Maybe say you went out with Robert De Niro, but Robert's old and nobody cares about him anymore. But you went out with him and somebody said, wow, you went out with Robert De Niro? Ooh, you must be something special. Well, the reason I bring this up with guitars is this. People do this with guitars, right? Sometimes people will buy a custom shop Strat or a custom shop Les Paul only because they can say, I have one. And their friends and other players might say, that guy's got a custom shop Les Paul. And that's really cool. I guess you can say the same thing about me. I got a 56 Les Paul. But so I was afraid of those were going to be terms you learned at your nudist comedy concert. For the chicks. Yeah, ha ha. Throning for groupies. Oh boy, that's funny. The nudist colony gig. Yeah, I'm glad somebody remembers that I did play the nudist colony. I don't think I can get that image out of my head. I really don't. But yeah, I think people do buy up on guitars just for the status of I own that guitar, and they really don't care about it. It's like I played Gary Moore's Les Paul, which I think Kurt Hammack owns now. I did play that guitar. Personally, I don't think it played very well. I didn't really care for that guitar. But maybe it was a bad setup. But at that point, I wouldn't have bought that guitar, even if I had the money. Sure, I guess it would be cool to say, I've got Gary Moore's guitar. But as far as a player goes, I didn't think it was a great guitar. And I don't think I would have. Yeah, Greenie is the name of the guitar. I don't think it would have been that big of a deal to have. What is your thought about the new Fender Classic Professional Series? So the Fender Classic Professional Series. All right, so it's another, as I call, money grabs. This is a way all guitar makers do every year. They reissue another guitar that's just another guitar that they made last year, and they just put a different name on it, basically. They rehash these things over and over, probably using another design. I really haven't researched that guitar totally. So I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about with the nitro finishes and all that stuff. But it's a money grab. There's several these guitars. The used market is flooded with these other American guitars that are out there. You could probably go back and find a guitar in the American series that has pretty much the same stuff for a lot less money. So, hey, going to Frampton next week in St. Augustine. What year is Frampton? What year is the Frampton Les Paul. I believe his Les Paul, the black one with the 3 pickup. I was just talking about that. I have an article, and there goes my light. Hold on, guys. My light went down. I have a ghost in here, and the ghost likes to play games with me. So there we go. So man, that's bright. I had to move it. But the Frampton Les Paul is either a 59 or a 60. I believe it is a 60, but I'm not positive about that. Let's see if I can adjust this light again. Sorry about this. Why are you doing this to me tonight? Stop. It's not going to adjust. We're going to have to do it like that. So, are you, does anyone here remember Dick Ross, Naked City and the Road? I don't remember them, by the way. Are you seeing more or less demand for G&L guitars? Let there be light. No, I'm not saying. No one's even talked about G&L guitars. What you know about the Nuix Amp Academy Stomp? I have one for sale on Reverb right now. How about that? Good little pedal. Actually, is a good little pedal. Yeah, I have one cheaper than anybody else on Reverb right now. All right. So was it a 54? Did he convert it with the 3 pickups? For some reason, I thought it was old, and I thought it was a 59 or 60, but maybe not. You guys know more than I do. I don't remember. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys knew that I did not know. So, Dale Torborg texting me. Anybody know who Dale Torborg? We're talking about Kiss. Dale Torborg is the wrestler for WCW back in the day. He wrestled WCW. He's also wrestled in TNA and stuff like that. But he played the Demon. So he was the only official wrestler that was actually endorsed by Kiss, Gene Simmons. He dressed as Gene Simmons and wrestled as Gene Simmons. It's funny. He just texted me. The Sphinx is a 54 routed with a middle pickup. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate the info. I really do appreciate the info. That's something I did not know or I forgot. I probably forgot. Everything goes in and goes out nowadays. I think my hard drive is full. Because once you get old, you start losing stuff. Because you learn so much stuff, but there's certain things you do forget. So we talked about the terms. I talked about those 2 little terms for you guys, and it's kind of funny. So you've learned the terms of shrekking and throning. So don't be a throner. Go out there just to buy a guitar because it is what it is, because it's a status symbol. Buy a guitar that you like, learn to play it, enjoy it, and whatever. If you're buying guitars like this as an investment, got it. But a new guitar, don't buy those collector guitars because they're not collectible. Buy old guitars. They are collectible. And speaking of that, I have been struggling with Ace of Z. Me too, Go. Play it. Play this guitar? Okay. What should I play on the, let's see. My Kemper is not working, guys. The Kemper died on me. I can't stand this. I can't get a tone out of this thing because the freaking little cube I'm using. Yes, Dale's father just passed away recently, and yeah, great player. Did Dale ever play in the MLB? No, Dale did not play. He was a coach for um, the White Sox. Dale's got some great stories. Talking about Kiss, his stories got great stories about Kiss, but he also has great stories about it. Dale actually turned me on to a thing. I actually, about 2 years ago, I had a real problem with my elbow, and I couldn't play guitar. I mean, I could, but it hurt really, really bad. So Dale said, you need to go get PRP. And I said, huh? What's PRP? And he said, PRP, what they do is they take plasma from your body and then inject it back into the sore spot. And you should be able to get your arm back. I said, really? And he goes, yeah, Griffey, everybody. Ken Griffey Jr. had it done when he was playing for the White Sox, and several other players he went on about that all had it done, because repetitive motion, just like guitar is a repetitive motion if you play right. I see a lot of guys. I mean, if you're playing Joey Ramone or the Ramones, just downstrokes, playing punk music, sure, you probably don't have a repetitive motion, where like, I'm playing stuff, so I'm playing a lot of 16 notes, eighth notes and stuff, 30 seconds and all that stuff. What's the name of your YouTube shop? Guitar Addict. So just look up the Guitar Addict on Reverb, and I think I only have a couple things up there. I don't put a lot of stuff on Reverb, just for the fact that I don't like to ship guitars. So I don't know the Lemon song. That's one of those songs I don't know. God, those things are crusty. But this weekend, so I know I've been asked about this and I kind of been putting it off, but we're going to talk about this now because we only have like 15 minutes left in the show tonight. And we're going to talk about I could probably play it. I just have to learn it. It's never been on a set list. Nobody's ever asked me to play Lemon Song. I played the played that a few times. So this weekend we have the Tampa Guitar Show. Yeah, so Tampa Guitar Show is this weekend at the Florida State Fairgrounds, Friday and Saturday for you guys, or Saturday and Sunday for you guys, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for me. And I got some great news. Marty, the promoter, called me just a little while ago. He goes, Randy, just want to let you know I hooked you up. You hooked me up? What do you mean you hooked me up? You got the very first booth, So when you walk in the door, so if you're out there, I don't know which way we go, probably to the right, and you'll see me. I'll be right there, the very first booth. And he upgraded my booth. So I originally was just going to do like a single booth, bring about 20 guitars or so, and have a good time, just doing my thing. Because this time, if you're used to watching my channel, which I hope you do watch my channel, not just the live streams, go on, check some of the guitar show videos. We talk about all the stuff going on at the shows. And my usual partner in crime is Bruce. Bruce is my little 5'5" nothing, 5'0" buddy that helps me out with all the guitar shows. He knows more about acoustic guitars than anybody I've ever met in my life. He's a great compliment to what I do because I know the electric guitars pretty well. He knows the acoustics inside and out, knows brands I have no idea what they are, I've never heard of, and he knows exactly what they are. Well, thank you. I appreciate that you like the guitar show coverage. We will probably on Friday, we will do a little live stream to kind of show you guys. So make sure you do hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to hit the bell notification, if you hit the bell notification, it will alert you and tell you when I am live doing this live stream. So you can do that. But we're going to do a little live stream from Tampa. I'm in North Carolina, but I might have heads down. You might head down. Really? You can come down? Awesome. Come down, go. If you do come to the guitar show and you do watch a lot of my videos, please. And if you're live here, one of you guys, if you're coming down to the show, please come up and say hi. I would love to meet you in person. I really, trust me, I do appreciate you guys watching. And so we'll be out there Thursday. I'm packing up Thursday. I leave Friday morning with my new cohort in crime at these guitar shows. I hate to say it. She's a heck of a lot better looking than I am. My wife is actually going to be with me this weekend. So I doubt she'll be at the shows on Saturday and Sunday. She'll be there for Sunday for a little while, but I have a feeling she's probably going to go shopping somewhere around, not near the fairgrounds, because I don't think there's much to do around the fairgrounds. Unless she goes to the Hard Rock Cafe, a Hard Rock Hotel Casino is right next door. So if you like gambling, and if you have a gambling problem, please seek help. I don't have the number, but anyways, I have to say that because you just have to. Anyways, so but come by and check us out. She'll be out shopping. But how many bucks can you give for a PR's private stock P24? I would have to see it, my friend. I would have to see it. We just sold one of those. Had a nice private stock that I sold about probably a year ago, I guess it's been. And it didn't go for as much as I thought it would go for. I really thought it was going to go for a lot more, but it didn't bring the money I thought it was. PRS it's funny that PRSs cost so much money, but the core models just don't bring the money. That's my guitar, man. I love PRSs. That's all I'll play. Well, pretty much all I'll play. And unfortunately, I get no love. What is the value for a used private stock these days? I don't know. That's why I can't. They're all different, so I don't know. I'd have to see it. So I wish I could tell you. If you're in Tampa this weekend, bring it by. I'll tell you exactly. I'll have to look at it. Or if you're in the Daytona Beach area, come by and see me at the Guitar Addict, 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Lomish, beautiful North Holly Hill. So, but we're going to be out there. We're actually one electric guitar that is hot right now, and I'm kind of shocked at it, is SGs. SGs are actually hot on the board now for me. I only play PRSs, but they are all SCs. Nothing wrong with the Swamp Ashes or any of the PRSs, the core models. There's a video on YouTube right now that can't remember who put it up, but it's out there. It's all about the Cort factory because that's where the PRSs are made. They're actually made by Cort, and they go through the whole detail of how they make them and how Jack, which I've met him before, really nice guy, oversees a lot of the stuff going on in the factory. And I mean, their quality to detail is really, really good. The PRS SE guitars, there's nothing wrong with those guitars. I have nothing but good things to say about them. I actually do have one. Phil McKnight. Yeah, we know Phil. That's who it is. Phil McKnight. We know Phil. Yeah, that's exact. Phil McKnight. He does the whole thing. You check him out. It's a great tour. Actually goes, I think he does the Cort tour as well to go through their guitars, which I used to carry those guitars, which I can still if I want to. Yes, Go. We've distinguished it. It is Philip McKnight, and seems like a really good guy. I would like to meet him one day. He would be one of the YouTube guys I would like to hang out with because he seems like a pretty genuine person. And maybe one day I will run into him at one of these shows or somewhere. So there's a couple guys that I would like to run into. My SE 245 is beautiful, plays great, and still prefer my SGs and Les Pauls though. Everybody has their preference, you know. the 245, I get that. I get the Gibson Les Paul. Do you prefer selling or buying when you do guitar shows? Depends. Now this show will set us back about $1,000. So that's what it will set us back to do this show this weekend. That's not including food and all that stuff, but that's what it will include. You know, it includes everything. About $1,000 to do it. I have to make that money back. I have to at least make that $1,000. So hopefully we'll sell something and make some money. But I right now I'm really looking to kind of sell some stuff, trade some stuff. So I took my 244 to a tech, and that simply ruined it. What was my favorite? Really, if the format ever gets boring for you, could you do a guitar Spock Wednesday? And a Spook. Oh, SpookCon. Talk about that. Russell, I'll talk about that real quick. Next weekend or next Wednesday, we may go back out to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights and do another live stream from there because it is the last week of Halloween Horror Nights. I still have some time left on my pass to go out there and do some more stuff. So maybe we'll go out there next week and this actual live stream will actually be from Universal Orlando, and we'll do the Halloween Horror Nights again. We'll walk around the scare zones and get scared again. So if you guys want, if you don't care about that, I won't do it. But I am in Halloween Town. Russell, you're in Halloween Town. What is Halloween Town? Salem? Or is it actually a town called Halloween Town? thing is a thing in China, right? See, with the Kemper, I can do this through that, but I'm playing through this little thing, this Roland cube. Calling Dr. Love. I don't remember how that goes. Shock me, I don't remember how that goes. So, I tell you a funny thing. The other night we actually played. Me and my duo partner played because it is Halloween season. We played stuff from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We played Time Warp, which is just easy. So listen closely. So nothing happens. That's it. Yeah, I hadn't played it for a while, but yeah. So we played that, and then we played. I'm just a sweet transvestite from Transylvania. It was pretty funny because the bar just like looked at us like, "Are you kidding me? These guys are playing this?" Yeah, see the time working. Great song. I used to go. You know, we used to have midnight movies when I was a kid, and we would go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show every time it was like almost every week we'd go to it. It was so much fun. And what do you expect sale wise for guitar market for the holiday season? Mm, I have a feeling the guitar market might be down for the whole thing because sales have declined quite a bit this year from the music trades that I get every month, and I don't imagine it's going to be any better. It will be down from last year. I'm pretty sure. Yep, every Saturday night, midnight movie. Yep, going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Taking your toast, throwing the toast, and we had. I mean, you had a bunch of stuff that you would do. That was a lot of fun back then. I have to admit, it was fun growing up, being able to do that type of stuff. Kids nowadays, they have no idea how much fun we had back then. And there were no cell phones, so nobody has any pictures, any proof of anything we actually did back then. Meatloaf, yes. Meatloaf was in that movie, yes. Eddie. That was the first time I think anybody had ever seen Meatloaf was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show because he did play Eddie in that. Susan Sarandon was in that movie, and you actually saw her boobies. Ooh. That was pretty wild to think about that she was a famous actress after that, and here she was doing those scenes. No one was staring at screens all the time. Exactly. Nobody was. Back then, we didn't have cell phones. So we were more occupied with each other than we were with our phones or our watches or all that fun stuff. You know, I should have told Dale to come on here. I should just thought about that. Damn it. Oh well. Anyways, but yeah, man, good old days with no cell phones. Cell phones are great. I mean, they're great for things. Find out stuff like I could ask her anything, she'd tell me, and it's only going to get worse. But I don't know. Remember, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. We are trying to grow to right now. We're trying to get to 4,000 people. I think we're at 35 right now. We're trying to get to 4 grand. That's our next goal. So help a brother out, as I always say. So, anyways, it is well, it's almost time. We got about 2 more minutes left in the stream. So, any other questions anybody has, let me know, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. This neck actually feels a lot like my Giant Highland PRSs. I never realized it, but it actually does have a very similar feel. Have I ever heard of the band Nantucket? Yes, absolutely I have. Yeah, that was a band from the 70s. I think I actually had one of their albums back then. Why? Why should I know about Nantucket? Tommy Red. Huh. Is that who that was? Man, that's been a long times. I worked in a record store back in the day, and that's how I knew about Nantucket. It was in our playlist that we, in a record store back then, we would play records all day long in the shop, and we would, grab bands, and Nantucket was one of those bands we actually played. He was a guitarist. Oh, cool. Awesome. What's the best guitar deal in your shop right now? Woo. I have an EVH Wolfgang Special striped for $850. I have a Mexican Telly for like $425. Those are both pretty good deals, I would think, compared to what's out there. So, and they're both bent. It's funny, when we played the other night with the guy for Hender, we were playing, that's right, we played Sweet Home Alabama. So, and he started going this. Right in the guitar solo. It was actually pretty cool. And I was like, I'm going to steal that. I told Justin, I said, man, I'm stealing that stuff. I'm going to play that in my set now. Because usually when we play Sweet Home Alabama, I actually don't play the Ed King stuff. The Ed King, I played it forever. It's great stuff. Ed King was a way underrated guitar player. But I actually, it's time to move on. Sweet Home Alabama is just like, oh, kill me. I started playing the Kid Rock solo over, but I think now I'm going to start trying to incorporate Sweet Child of Mine solo in part of that whole Sweet Home Alabama thing. It's pretty cool to have, you have a guy, that plays in a band called Hender and who has, hits, come up and actually morph stuff together same way I do. I do that all the time. I put Purple Rain in the middle of Rocket Man. So, different little things like that. So I think that's just, Hinder rocks. Absolutely. The great band. They were really good live. When we weren't playing, because we were playing the same time they were. Actually, I did get on my break, and I did get to see them play a couple songs on my break. But when we were playing, it's funny. We just stopped, and they were still playing. You could hear them. It was kind of difficult when you're trying to play and there's a band behind you they were a few hundred yards from us, but you could still hear them. And so while we were playing, if there was any downtime in any of the songs, their timing was kind of overlapping our timing. And it was like, oh boy, this is going to be fun. You're playing something, slow. And they're playing something. Yeah, and you're like, oh my God. Oh, yeah. So, one of the funny things they played the other night was this. They actually played that. That was kind of funny that they actually played that. We got new noise ordinance in Raleigh. Really? What did they do there in Raleigh in the Tri-City area? What, you can only play at a certain amount of time now? I'll wait for that little response, and that'll probably be it for tonight. I think we're going to we'll see what's going on in Raleigh. Okay, what do we got here? dB limits, really? So you can't go over a certain dB and they shut you down if you go over that limit. We don't have that in Florida. We don't have a dB limit. In fact, when Rockville comes here to the Daytona Beach area, I live roughly 7-8 miles from the Daytona International Speedway. I hear Rockville all 3 days or 4 days. I can some of those bands, I can pretty much tell exactly what they're playing, which is crazy. But we don't have really a noise ordinance. We have a time period. So in certain towns, they say you have to be done at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I believe in Tavares, where Hinder played, the time was 10. So they had to be off by 10 o'clock. I believe in St. Augustine, it is 11, because I know they have bands out there at the amphitheater all the time. Tampa is 11 as well. So I think here in the Daytona area, I think we are 10 as well. This guitar doesn't like nines. Don't put nines on a Les Paul. They don't work. They do if you stretch them out, but I haven't seen it. New strings. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Anyways, all right. So we've covered pretty much, I think, everything I want to cover tonight. We talked about the Ace Frehley, passing of Ace Frehley, which totally devastated me. It was great to play some Ace this past weekend with my band and having Justin from Hinder sit in and play with us. That was awesome as well, playing some Kiss with him. We talked about the guitar show is going to be this weekend. You guys come out and see me. If you're going to be in the Tampa area, please come by and say hi. What else? We talked about the spooning. No, not spooning. Shrekking and throning. There was something else we talked about as well. Oh, Breed Love. We talked about Breed Love. So you can check out Breed Love. The whole Breed Love is done. When they're not done, they're just sold to somebody else. So anyways, all right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up next week. If you guys want to me to do the whole thing at Halloween Horror Nights, which I guess I should. I asked you prior, nobody said anything, so I guess we'll probably be out at Halloween Horror Nights doing the live feed from Universal, and we get a different backdrop. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button before you leave.